When they walk, the floor crumbles beneath their feet. When you open a door, they suplex it off its hinges. When performing any possible action, a chat turns it up to 11. Characters like Dia from JoJo's Bizarre Adventures, who threw a dog into a fire pit, stole the first kiss of Jonathan's girlfriend, and just having fun with Polnareff by stopping time and making him go down the stairs every time he takes a step. In the world, there is one group of people who are nothing but chats. Beings that can tame dragons. Yes, you heard me. A being who can tame a motherfucking dragon. This group is called the Vikings. Yes, the boys that can tame a dragon.
Or at least that's what DreamWorks taught me with How to Train Your Dragon 3. But today, we talk about the Vikings from a certain anime. This anime is one of the greatest anime on the planet. This anime is absolutely amazing. It even has a phenomenal arc titled the Farm Arc. This anime is called Vinland Saga. If you watch this show, you are now officially a Chad because the energy of Thorfinn, Thors, Thorkel, and Askeladd will instantly make you a Chad with their own Chadly energy. Vinland Saga is a story about if Eren Yeager was a Viking, where instead of watching his mommy get eaten by a titan, he sees his father get shot full of arrows. Our main protagonist, Thorfinn, witnesses his father's murder by the man named Askeladd, who by the way is the definition of a cunning Chad. Now his only goal is to kill this man to avenge his father. But for some odd reason, he also could care less about his mother and sister. And yes, he yells a lot, just like Eren. But also like Eren, he becomes one of the greatest protagonists to ever walk in an anime. In season 2 of the anime, which is based on the arc called the Farm Arc, you will see how great of a character Thorfinn truly is. Vinland Saga was my anime of the year in 2019. Now I know, it's inconceivable that I liked it more than Demon Slayer. This was a definition of a truly amazing story, receiving some of the best treatment in terms of animations and just overall quality of an anime. Hopefully Berserk will receive a great adaptation like this one day. Because the 2016 Berserk still gives me nightmares. And not because of the scary monsters, but because of the scary CGI. Vinland Saga started off slow for me. The first two episodes were good, but nothing fantastic. Then episode 3 came in and got me a little invested, but episode 4 was when it really popped off for me. I actually first watched this at an anime club, which was not a very fun experience. When I joined, they were on episode 8 when Thorfinn challenged Askeladd. And all I remember thinking was, well, this is cool, but what the fuck is going on? Episode 4 was one of the greatest episodes of the series, and honestly, it just gets better from there as the series progresses. This show and manga is a 10 out of 10 masterpiece for me. The plot is fantastic, even though it is just Eren Yeager, but instead of wanting to kill all the titans, he wants to kill Askeladd. Thors, who was only in the first 4 episodes because, spoiler, he died. Okay, if you didn't see that coming from the summary that IMDb gives you, then I don't know what to tell you, man. I'm gonna be real honest with everyone starting now. I will be getting into spoilers for season 1, so if you somehow haven't watched it, then please leave and go watch it. It is by far one of my favorite anime of all time, and it is most definitely in my top 10, especially after the next arc we will see in the anime. The plot is fantastic because of the progression we see the characters go on, like Thorfinn. Everything he does revolves around getting his revenge on Askeladd. He wants to beat him in a 1v1 instead of just cheaply stabbing him in the back. He wants to beat him in a fair 1v1 like his father once did. He wants to prove that his father is truly better. He uses 2 knights to fight in every battle. And honestly, he's a very skilled fighter who has been able to go toe to toe with and even get several good hits off on Thorkel, who's by far one of the strongest characters in the show. He used to live with his family and was a happy, lively boy. He played with the children in the village, especially in mock combat with a wooden sword and shield, even though he was always one of the first ones to lose. One day, Floki and the Jom's Vikings came to Iceland and get aid from his father Thors. When his father was going out to battle, Thorfinn hid in a barrel on his father's ship. A mercenary called Askeladd, who was hired by Floki to take down Thors, came and dueled Thorfinn's father. Thors took down half of Askeladd's men, including his second in command, and then the two faced off. Thors won the battle, but in exchange for Thorfinn's life, he was killed by many arrows from Askeladd's men. After his father's death, Thorfinn vowed to seek vengeance for his father by becoming one of Askeladd's top men and dueling him every time he completed a mission in combat, so he could avenge his father's death in a fair battle, because that's what he thought his father would have wanted. But sadly, his goal never came to be. Not because his skills weren't going to be able to reach the level of Askeladd, not because he lost interest in it and decided to forgive Askeladd because he became more like another father figure towards him. No, because Askeladd dies at the end of season 1, and that is where season 2 will pick up. Thorfinn becomes a shell of his former self and is constantly haunted by the lives he took in his nightmares. nightmares. He lost his primary goal, and because of that, he only has to reflect on the terrible deeds he has done. The true name of this arc isn't the farm arc, it's called the slave arc, because Thorfinn becomes a slave. That is the most I will go into this arc, but it is by far the best arc I have read in this series so far. I have only read up to the halfway mark of the next arc after the slave arc, called the Eastern Expedition arc, and I am extremely excited to see this next arc to be put into this anime, and it may already be my anime of the year. The only way it doesn't is if Mappa somehow misses, when honestly, they don't miss. Vinland Saga follows many different people in their storylines, such as the main protagonist Thorfinn, who we follow mostly, but I follow Thor's and his ideologies, and honestly has one of the best quotes in anime, and it's only 6 words. A true warrior needs no sword. Even though he was a Yams Viking, after a little while, he hated the thought of killing and never wanted to return to battle. And he was a beast on the battlefield, the type of beast that you could not stop, even besting people like Thorkel and Askeladd. The only reason Askeladd killed him was because of a cheap shot, and because Thor let him kill him, and he stuck to his ideology all the way to his death. When Askeladd's crew was trying to kill him, he merely just knocked them out, killing no one. Then you have someone like Thorkel, who is just the Goku of the universe, wanting to find someone strong enough to challenge him, someone who is on the level of Thor so that he can finally beat him. He even joined the opposing sides because they were losing and wanting to mess things up. He's the wild card of the show. He may be on your side for a few moments, then in the next scene he is cutting your head off. He loves chaos, and he especially loves fighting. That is what drives him. Then we have Askeladd, who is by far the best character in season 1, and is only surpassed by Thorfinn. Askeladd is sly, manipulative, cunning, and charismatic man, being an excellent swordsman and a great fighter. His biggest strength, however, lies in his intelligence and ability to strategize and adapt, a skill bolstered by his ability to know what kind of person someone is simply by looking at their face. He is quick to act and sees what he wants, yet slow to anger. As a captain, his band looks up to him as a bold and lucky person worthy of leading. Askeladd's role in the series is a captain of a notorious band of Viking pirates. He is the unlawful murderer of Thor's. He is Thorfinn's boss, even though Thorfinn rarely listens to him, apart from when he gets a chance to fight Askeladd, which is his usual reward. He is a mentor for Thorfinn and a catalyst that brings about the change of Canute. He mainly focuses on attaining more fame, fortune, and respect amongst his enemies, while also trying to protect Wales from a Danish invasion. When King Sven announces an invasion of Wales as a prelude to a fight in Ireland, he secretly gives Askeladd a choice to save Wales or Canute, not wanting to lose both in the process. Askeladd feigns madness by declaring himself as Artorius Reborn and kills the king. After slaughtering a bunch of people on top of that, he meets his end at Canute's hands. Because of this, Thorfinn no longer has a goal to strive for, and no mentor to hone his skills even further. So he plunges into depression because he failed. This show is just a fantastic story, but a sad one. Each little detail plays a role in the story. You can't have the next arc without the death of Askeladd at another person's hand that wasn't Thorfinn. You wouldn't have a story without the death of Thor's. Thor's was the catalyst of the story. Without him, there would be no story. If he wasn't found out and people still thought he was dead, then Thorfinn would not have become as great of a fighter as he was. Every detail has its role to play in the story. From the very start, Thorfinn cannot reach his goal and cannot have his revenge. If he did, then the story wouldn't have been as good. It would have just been another shonen anime. I am truly excited to see how Mappa will do, and I am even more excited to see the people's reaction to this season when they finally watch it, because it's fantastic. If it's anime as well as the first season and the opening is just as fire as the first one, then it would be an easy 95% on the moist meter, and I cannot wait until you guys see season 2. Everything about this series screams masterpiece to me, and we all know what that means. The Dragon Ball fans about to come out of the woodwork and ask me if Askeladd can beat Goku.